What's up, guys? Trevor here. So today I'm going to go over the 5 reasons I think you should get a virtual mailbox. So if you don't know what a virtual mailbox is yet, it's just basically like a PO box or a UPS store box. But a virtual mailbox is special because it is a service that actually scans your mail when it receives your mail. And it can send you a picture of it, and it could also forward you the mail as well. So I think that virtual mailboxes are great, especially if you have a location-independent business or any sort of e-commerce business. And it's great for anybody else too, just because it provides you a way to have a permanent address in any state you want to without having to change your address every single time you move around. So that is actually one of the reasons. But I'm going to get into those 5 reasons right now, a little bit more in depth, and let you know, because I think everybody should do it. And I'll let you know the virtual mailbox that I'm using and why I like them and stuff like that, and then other options as well. All right, so the first reason is that if you have an e-commerce business, the great thing about having a virtual mailbox is that customers will see a commercial address on your website, and it adds credibility to your business. So you can always put on there just mailing address or corporate headquarters or something like that, something that makes it clear that you don't actually have a retail store at that address. But having an address on your website makes your business a lot more credible to your customer base, and it makes them feel safer when they order from somebody that has an address as opposed to someone who doesn't. So, if something were to happen, you could have that customer even send back a product to your address and maybe have that forwarded to someone else to handle it or something like that. So the customer feels good and they feel safer that way. So I think anybody that has an online business that sells products, like a dropship business, like an e-commerce dropship business, should definitely get a virtual mailbox. The second reason I really like them is because you can receive business mail without having to deal with any of the junk mail. And when you set up a DBA in your state, you set up a LLC, when you sign up for various business services, sometimes your mailing address gets sold or given to other third-party affiliates to be marketed to. And the deal there is that some of the address information that you give out is actually available for public access, especially when you do a DBA, doing business as. So at your virtual mailbox, you won't actually have to deal with any of that junk mail. They'll be able to sift through, and if something's obviously junk, then they won't even open it for you. So that's really great. The third reason I really like the virtual mailbox is because you can travel the world, and your virtual mailbox can be your U.S. address. So you don't have to use your parents' address, you don't have to use a friend's address. You can have your own address, and you can basically go anywhere you want to. And it moves on to the next one, which is that you can actually move to any state you want to that has no income tax and travel the world, right? And there's actually a tax loophole that I found out that if you do this and you are outside of the U.S. for 11 months out of the year, you don't have to pay any federal income tax on any income made up to $10,000. Don't quote me on that, but look that up yourself. It's around $100,000. So if you make over $100,000 a year in income, then yeah, you'll probably have to pay some income tax. But if you move to a state like Wyoming or Texas or Florida, and you set up a residency there, in other words, you have a driver's license, you register to vote, you have an address, you set up your business account there and everything, you're legally living there, that's where you have your business has a nexus. Well, you won't have to pay any income tax in those states, and you won't have to pay any federal income tax if you live outside of the U.S. for 11 months out of the year. You will still have to pay Medicare and Social Security tax, though. But it's a great benefit, and for anybody who wants to travel, live location independent, have an online business, you can do it, and it's totally legal. Ask your tax advisor for any more information about that. I am not a CPA. The final reason, the 5th reason for getting a virtual mailbox, is that you can have that permanent address again, and you won't ever have to change it, especially like if you move fairly consistently from city to city, or if you move every year to a new apartment in the same city. Like over the last 5 or 6 years, I think we've lived in 5 or 6 different apartments. We pretty much moved around to a different apartment every year for the last half decade, and it's a real pain in the butt because you have to always be changing the addresses with all your different banks and all your different subscription services. So set up one now rather than later. I'll go over the one I use and how much it costs, but this will save you a lot of hassle in the future. So let's get into the one that I use. The virtual mailbox I use is called Traveling Mailbox. I'll put a link in the description. It's called Traveling Mailbox. TravelingMailbox.com is the website. And on their website, they have starter packages, I believe, that start at around $20. and it's a fairly good service. It's kind of like a starter service that you can use if you don't want to pay a bunch of money up front. I take that back. It's actually $15 a month is their basic plan, so really low. That only includes 40 incoming envelopes per month and 35 page scans. And you can have up to 3 mailbox recipients and free mail shredding. They have an extended plan that includes 100 envelopes per month at $25 per month and 200 envelopes per month at $55. So if your business gets a lot of mail, then you might have to move up. But to start with, $15 a month is great. And these days, I mean, who uses mail anymore, right? You might get one thing or two that are actually important throughout the month. And again, junk mail doesn't count here. So it's only those important real emails or real letters that count. And most people just use email. So this is a great, cheap service that'll save you from all your junk mail. And you can do that. Another great service I'll link to that I don't use, but I've heard really good things about and they have great reviews is Earth Class Mail. So if you go to earthclassmail.com, they actually have a review from Tim Ferriss there on the front page, or they used to anyways. And a lot of they still do. Tim Ferriss is there on the front page, 4-Hour Workweek author. A lot of different companies use their service, and it's really great. If you go to their website and look at the pricing, though, it's a little bit more expensive, and that's just because they're generally a more all-encompassing service. So you don't actually have any limit on the amount of mail that you can bring in every month. Unlimited mail scanning, right? Free mail storage for 30 days, secure shredding, mail forwarding, automatic bill payment. So it's kind of an all-in-one feature. Now, the first plan that they actually have is $49 a month. That's their starting plan. It's called a residential starting plan because it doesn't have as much good stuff as the business does in it. Looking at it, it doesn't actually say what the residential covers. But the business plans start at $99 a month. So, for $100 a month, if you're a business and you want to do this and you can afford it, Earth Class Mail might be the better one to go with because they don't have any limits on the mails that you can get scanned. So, all right, guys, well, check those two out. And I've actually used the virtual mailbox called Traveling Mailbox. And if you click the link in my description, I'll get a commission if you sign up with them. And I really appreciate that. So hopefully that was useful for you guys. And if you like this video, definitely give me a thumbs up. And subscribe to my channel for more good videos like this. My goal is to do one of these e-commerce tip videos every single day, so it'll be super valuable for you guys. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed, guys, and take care. Best of luck out there. We'll see you next time.